Hello there, friends, and welcome back to more Bravely Default 2. Last time, we started scaling the Tower of Wiswall to see if we could find where Galahad was, as he wasn't in the entrance anymore. We've also got to check out Ranger, as Seth was able to cap out Berserker, and it's a pretty interesting job. We haven't actually used any of its abilities, per se, but we have been able to take advantage of its high speed, at least. Pretty interesting, and bows are pretty useful in this dungeon. Speaking of, we're going to try and wrap up this dungeon as quickly as possible, because we are nearing the end here. And I want to just go ahead and get things moving, as there's really not much for us here. Though, we do have access to the specialty maximum draw, which I think I've already talked about. So, we're just going to move on here. There we go. We've actually almost got 2 caps for Red Mage and Beastmaster. Hopefully we can get that done before we reach the end of the dungeon. We still got a few floors left, so I kind of hope we can. I need to heal up Seth. And then, let's see here. Okay, so there's no loot left in this floor here, but there's still quite a few treasure chests to deal with and a few more floors to tackle. So let's try this floor first. The one without the baseball diamond in it. Ooh, treasure. 7 mini ethers. Ooh, okay. That can be useful if you decide you really don't want to go back to Wiswald and you just want to cure your MP real fast. Lots of Baphomets being captured. I actually am kind of curious to see how many monsters I've captured at this point, because it's probably a lot more than I expect. Beast Whisperer is so overpowered, especially for capturing beasties, though it is very valuable, because it saves so much time. If you couldn't just capture monsters like that, you'd have to get them all down to 1 HP and manually capture them. It would be very, very frustrating. Now, there would have been ways to rectify that later on with being able to spread out abilities, but still would have been very frustrating. Medium JP orb there is quite nice. And if we go this way, more stairs. Move around here. I still think there's some kind of secret passage somewhere, but I might be mistaken. These guys are still aggressive towards me, actually, which is interesting. Oh, almost job level 11 with Adele on Beastmaster there. Getting there. That one is where the game wants me to go, so I'm not going to go that way. And I'm rewarded with a treasure chest for being an explorer. Though the game doesn't like me that much. Watch out, guys. We got ourselves the Longinus. Ooh, okay. A spear whose tip has been dipped in the blood of a divine being. Extra effective against aquatic monsters. Okay. 58 attack power, 6 physical defense, 55 magic. I mean, it's pretty good. It gives you a lot of bonuses and extra stats. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty strong. I guess we can give this to Elvis for right now. He loses 1 point in speed, but I don't really think that's a big deal. Yeah, look at that. That's a really cool looking spear. And if we go down to the south here, we've got more steps. Hey, Adele learned Beast Whisperer. Seth is not the only one who needs to have that equipped now. Let's go. There isn't you can't increase your chances of capturing monsters with more Beast Whisperers, but it's useful to have. Ooh, blind. That's what I get for not getting the advantage in combat. Moving on up. More treasure. Courage ring. Okay. I believe that cures dread, or it makes you immune to it at least. Might have that wrong, but that's okay. Ooh, job level 7 on Seth. I think I matched the text too fast. Got ourselves Quick Fire Flurry. Perform 5 to 8 quick physical attacks on random targets. Extra damage will be dealt to paralyzed foes, giving you more reason to actually go for that paralysis. The attacks themselves actually do have varying damage multipliers. The first and last hits are usually the strongest, but overall they're roughly around the same damage. So it's not like you're really going to be missing out on anything crazy. Okay, and this is actually the last floor here. Now, if you were wondering if I didn't have a story about this dungeon, like I did the other two, you would be dead wrong. So, this last floor was actually the place I used to max out every single job I had in the game before getting to the final dungeon. Now, I wouldn't say that's the best way of doing things, but this dungeon's floor right here has a lot of enemies on it that can be grouped up and can be used to get a lot of consecutive battles out of it. Oh, I did quickfire flurry there. Never mind. I wanted to do a level slash. I was just not reading my stuff right. But yeah, so I use this dungeon to max out most of my jobs. You can see that you only get 67 JP from one battle, but if you get a consecutive battle that goes up to 8, you can get easily 700, 800 JP per fight. And with extra multipliers added on, that is a big number. A very, very big number. Made it to where in about 13 to 15 battles, I could cap a job on one character, and I would just do that. It's definitely not the most optimal way of doing things, but it is another story I have with this dungeon, because as I was playing through it, I got to this place and was like, oh hey, there's a bunch of enemies here. Let me go ahead and write this dungeon and this place down in my notes that I have for the game, and I'll come back to this whenever I have a lot of jobs that I want to level up. And I came back, maxed them out. Now, because this is the last floor, I would advise that you go ahead and heal up and start prepping things. First things first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cap out Elvis's Beastmaster with just a medium JP orb. I guess 2 medium JP orbs. I don't want to worry about his Beastmaster right now, and Off the Chain is going to be very valuable, and I don't want to just kind of walk around and grind too much, so we're just going to go ahead and cap him right there. Okay, I swapped some things around. As you can see, Elvis and Adele are on Black Mage and Vanguard. In terms of their abilities, I've put on MP Saver for Elvis to deal with all of the magic he's going to be casting, and I've put on MP Saver and Bare Knuckle Brawler for Adele for reasons you might remember similar to the Roddy encounter. Now, why do I have Black Mage on? Well, because of high velocity spells, we want to be able to bypass nullification and absorption effects and defenses from enemies. Resistances will still be a problem, but nullifications is going to be a big thing we want to be able to bypass. I've also given him Beastmaster as a sub-job, that way he can use Off the Chain along with Seth. Gloria is going to be keeping White Mage as her sub-job for this encounter, primarily because we're going to be able to heal multiple people at a time. If we were dealing with just one big funnel of damage, we might be able to get away with Red Mage, but we want to be able to have access to at least some kind of extra healing. So that'll be my build. If I can just get around these guys without fighting too much. Also, if you have any elemental weapons on Adele, if you're going for a Vanguard build, take them off and put on something else that is non-elemental.
It's Galahad. Don't worry. I understand. I won't let anything bad happen. I promise. I give my life to protect you. I'll die before I let you get hurt again.
Thank you, Galahad.
Another painting. Protect you. Protect you. Protect. Protect. Protect.
Roddy.
Aye. Makes sense. He really cared about her too.
About Mona, you mean?
Yes. And he was there when the accident happened. He said he couldn't forgive himself for not being able to save her.
Please, Galahad. Protect me.
I will. Of course I will. I won't let anything bad happen to you ever again.
Yes. You have to protect me. You have to save me.
I'll never let you hurt Mona. Never. I will protect her. Protect. 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 Protect.
Yep, we're going up against Galahad and every single Picto enemy in the game so far, including Picto Mona, which we saw all the way back at the start of Chapter 2. Ooh, okay, yeah, it's a 6 versus 4 here. This is quite a battle here. Okay, this is also the big reason why I've brought, like, kind of an entourage of my previous encounters, where I have Vanguard Adele, and I have access to Beastmaster stuff for Off the Chain, for Petunias, because guess what? You may be looking at all these enemies and thinking, holy crap, a lot of them have a bunch of immunities. How the hell do I prepare for this? They all have a similar weakness. Light. Those Petunias that we've got like 5 or 6 more of them left, which isn't enough for this fight, but it's still a good amount, will be key to winning this encounter. Another thing that'll be key to winning this encounter is getting Galahad out of commission here. We are going to boost all the way into the negative here with Seth, and we're going to see if we can paralyze this sucker. We want him out of commission fast. Didn't get it. That is very, very bad, actually. That is a terrible start to this encounter, actually. Holy crap. Let's go ahead and default with Gloria here. And let's see if we can take down Pictomona, because she's going to be our main priority. I actually am okay going into the negative here. She only has about 9,000 HP, so let's just see if we can take her down. Oh, those 2 misses were terrible, but okay, we got it. Galahad is going to be defending his team here, and he can block hits for his party members, so that is very, very important to keep in mind. Black Mage is good for this because of high velocity spells. You can bypass both Beleth and Amrita's weaknesses. But I'm mainly here for Elvis's Off the Chain. We're gonna go ahead and wait on that though. Ooh, loathsome lunge. That will kill you if you have Dread, which sucks. Let's heal her. We're gonna play Seth until We're gonna play safe until Seth is back into commission, and we can try and paralyze Galahad again. There's anti-critical and personal protection. He will now guard his party. We do not want to fight him right now. We want to paralyze him before fighting his other enemies, which does suck, but we can build a BP in the meantime. It's on Smash, that paralyzes. Okay, Seth's turn. Let's go ahead and go into the negative again, see if we can paralyze this guy. Come on, I promise you can paralyze him. It's so very, very good, but it's just not happening right now. Thankfully, we've got a bunch of animators. We can deal with this. Let's fall again. All right, let's go ahead and speed things up. Ooh, okay. I got a crit there, and he can blind us there. Let's go ahead and let's go ahead and get Adele up. Our standard raise should be okay. And then we'll also just go ahead and cure her with a regular spell. There we go. Decent HP heal. Adele's back in the game. Sever default. Stun Smash. And Stun Smash. Let's see here. I could start trying to go on the offense, but let's go ahead and test the waters a bit here with a Petunia. Let's go for the Amrita. I think it's honestly the bigger threat. No, he's guarding it right now. I mean, he's still vulnerable to life, so it's extra damage. Oh, let's go! Lily got the paralyze! Okay, this is a game now. This is a game. Let's have Adele default for right now. And let's have Gloria heal everyone up. We're just gonna do a big Kiraga. Just top everyone else off. Okay, we can play the game now. Let's change Adele's weapon to a spear. That way we can deal vulnerability damage to the Amrita. And let's just go full on offense with the Neo Cross Slashes. Yeah, 3K. Yeah, the terrible aim on the Vanguard definitely doesn't help there. Okay, it's Gloria's turn. Let's default. Sun Smash. I don't like that. I don't like that either. But let's go off the chain here, and let's take down this stupid Amrita. Where's Petunias? There we are. Perfect. And then let's use Elvis's turn, actually, to get the girls back into the fight here. I know we could technically deal some good damage to the Beleth there, but I want them in the fight. Shadow Binding is going to work against that as well. Let's go ahead and top everyone else off. Alright, Galahad is back in the fight, which is not ideal, but we can work with it. Ooh, Sharpshoot. Alright, let's default here. We want to get Seth back into the fight here before we do anything else. Thankfully, the Beleth is not difficult to deal with by itself. There's Reprisal, which will let him counter attacks, which is something we don't want to be dealing with. So again, we're going to try and paralyze him. Shadow Bind. Ooh, let's go, Lily. Man, she is coming in clutch right now. Let's go ahead and use Seth's turn to off the chain then. And let's go for the Petunia. 7,700 damage. We can do one again here in a second. Let's go into Vault. Shadow Nova, which is a big party-wide dark-based attack. Let's use Elvis's turn off the chain. Our second to last Petunia. And it's down. Okay. Now we get into Galahad himself. Now Galahad does have damage to earth, wind, spears, bows, and swords, which can make this a little frustrating for someone like Adele. But if we take off all of our stuff, we now have Bare Knuckle Brawler on, which is not, you know, a crazy amount of damage, but if we want to do stuff with Adele, we can here. Let's go ahead and give her an Ether. Let's give her one Ether, and then let's give another one to Seth. That way they can still fight. There we go. Sharpshoot, decent damage, I guess. Let's use Gloria's turn here to cure everyone. And then, unfortunately, he has damage to anything Gloria can do to actually offensively hurt him. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cast Protect on Seth, herself, and Elvis. Just give us some kind of defense boost. And then for Adele, we're going to start going on the offense. He's paralyzed, so why not? Counters physical attacks, which kind of sucks, but if he stays paralyzed, he can't utilize that BP for anything. Use a Mercy Smash here. Yeah, nothing's really getting through in terms of physical damage. We're probably going to need to use the Elvis for that. So let's go ahead and just heal up the damage that Adele's been taking there. And let's use some magic. He's only weak to light, so we can throw really anything we want here at him. Let's just see what damage it does. Okay, that's not really that much. Unfortunately, he has that counter, which will deal damage to us as we fight him, but we do have Roddy here to help with that. Unfortunately, this is going to be kind of a war of attrition. Ideally, though, we can Shadow Bind him again. And he can't fight back. Really, all I can do at this point is just build up BP and just hope that I can get a good hit in. What I'm probably going to do is on... I'll default for Seth's turn, actually. And Elvis's turn, I'm going to use that last Petunia to get a big boost in damage here. 6,700. Okay, now we have to do 13k. Alright, here comes the actual fight. Thankfully, we can chuck some items at him if we really want to. They're not going to do too much damage, as we can see here. But it's something.
No! Stop! Mona's suffered enough! I must protect her! Protect!
We've got this!
Yeah, unfortunately, Galahad doesn't really have much he can do to fight back against us if he's paralyzed the entire time, which is kind of the hope. So if we just keep Shadow Binding him, and then just picking away at his HP, he will go down eventually. Unfortunately, I do not want to fight him at all whenever he is active. As you can see, he does very powerful weighty blow attacks that are based on how much weight he has. He's a shield master. He has a lot of weight. So, unfortunately, we have to play very, very careful if he isn't paralyzed. Heal up. Weighty blow, does a lot of damage, and thankfully we got Roddy on our team here. Use Seth here to Shadow Bind. Got the paralyzed, good. Let's get a Hawkeye in here. Maybe with the bonuses of the axe, we might be able to get something there. Unfortunately, he still has counter up, so we will be taking some extra damage from Adele here. We can do some decent damage, even if it costs her life. We can get her up, though. It's not that bad. Ideally, there are a few other ways to make this fight much easier. Bring more Petunias, always nice. But there's also the idea that you can do a side quest that involves a little girl wanting to bring an item to a man who's working in the Veil of Sighs. You'll get a bunch of light-based throwable items that can really make the start of this encounter way easier. But honestly, I would suggest just bringing a lot of Petunias into this fight would be really what would do most of the work here. At least if you wanted to get this fight done fast. He only has 1,500 HP, which is really nice, so let's chuck a few magic spells at him. This actually should be enough to finish him off, potentially.
Magic has reduced my enemies to ashes! I'm sorry, Mona.
You cannot torture yourself any longer.
Seth learns Humanoid Slayer, and Gloria learned Disaster, maxing out Red Mage. Okay, the Galahad fights. Honestly, the most terrifying part of this encounter is the Picto enemies. There's 3 of them on the field. All of them are very, very annoying. Mona heals, Beletha does very annoying group-wide damage, and the Armorita can cast Dread and then instant kill you. Taking those 3 down is your main priority. Galahad himself is scary, but he's very manageable. Cast Paralyze on him, or just hope Lily can roll a good Paralyze check, and then wail on him with whatever you've got. Even if he's countering your stuff, if you've got some Phoenix Downs or a healer that can raise, just get him up and have him do it again. Pretty simple strategy. It isn't the most graceful, but it is something that works. And of course, we get a new asterisk here. The Shield Master. Shield Masters, as the name suggests, keep allies safe from harm with protective techniques and equipment, like a literal fortress shield. Pretty cool looking, honestly. Their abilities are primarily focused around guarding their party members with, like, Bodyguard, which lets them step in to take damage in place of a selected ally, automatically adopting the default stance in the process, and also utilizing their big defenses to deal decent damage. Reprisal lets them take any damage they've received and inflict it back on the attacker, which is okay. You're going to be minimizing the amount of damage you're already taking, so the damage you're going to be dealing back is not going to be very high. But they have stuff that lets them use their weight as a weapon, very similar to Freelancer's Body Slam. So you can play the team's defender, while also being able to boost yourselves up to a point to where you can just sit on an enemy for a crazy amount of damage. Pretty interesting job that, for most encounters, is usually seen as a necessity in the party, as tanking hits for enemies is going to become very, very important as we move on.
Galahad!
Oh, thank goodness he's breathing.
Had me worried there for a second, pal.
Leave him with us. You lot need to go on ahead and get the crystal.
We'll come after you as soon as we can. Well, if you're sure.
Roddy and Lily leave the party, which is unfortunate. I'm sorry, Mona. You lot go ahead. We'll follow once we're sure Galahad's okay. He'll be fine. He's just unconscious is all. He'll be glad you put a stop to his raging, I promise. Oh, let's go grab the Earth Crystal then.
There it is! The Earth Crystal! That's 2 down. What the? Ah! Damn it!
What's the matter?
I think I've been poisoned.
What? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. No big deal.
So the crystal was a trap, and we walked right into it.
Is everyone all right? What happened?
The crystal, it was a fake.
What? Then where's the real one?
Hold on, everyone. The book's at it again.
Here, let me give you this painting. It will make you feel better about everything. Please, Galahad, you have to protect me.
Mona, I'm so sorry. It's all my fault. Oh, Mona.
Galahad, listen. I'm hiding in the tower because some bad people are coming. You have to keep them away from me. You have to protect me.
Of course, Mona. Of course I'll protect you. Protect you. Protect you. Protect. 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 Protect.
What in the name of all that's holy was that?
Well, it's a bit of a long story.
So it was a vision of the past, eh? Who knew Lady Emma had a book that could do something like that? Anyway, what we saw just now, it rang a bell. I think that girl's the one who gave me my painting too.
Aye, same here.
And I guess we finally know who's behind all this.
But using paintings to control people, that's quite the specialised technique, eh? I smell asterisks.
Well, asterisk user or no, we've found our culprit. All we need to do now is track her down.
Roddy,
What is it, Hen?
that lassie we saw just now. I think I've seen her before. Painting pictures around town.
Interesting. I was just thinking I'd seen paintings like that here and there myself.
You think they might have something to do with all this?
Seems likely. Everything else has been tied to them after all.
Then we'd better go and investigate further.
Roddy, Lily, and Galahad are now accompanying the party. We know who our culprit is. Let's go find her. Yep, Seth is actually poisoned. Let's clear that up. Moving down the tower, we do have a party chat, which I saw right there on the screen for a brief moment. Artist's impressions. So, can you guys tell us anything about the girl the book showed us? The artist? No, not really. Me neither, I'm afraid. The whole time I was under her spell. It's all a bit of a blur. She was kind of small, right? Maybe just a kid, even. Maybe. She did have that butter wouldn't melt look about her. And there was something sort of childlike about how she spoke, too. Really? Well, I remember her talking about his art, yabbering about the majesty of her craft, that sort of thing. Oh, strange. I got the impression she was awfully lonely. Weird. It's almost like you're talking about different people. So she was, what, changing how she appeared to all of you? That, or she was deliberately trying to confuse us. Yeah, like using loads of different paint at once, so it ends up being some kind of muddy color that you can't really pin down. Maybe she's somewhere watching us right now and laughing at how confused we are. Only wish I knew where. We're gonna solve that, Seth, real soon. Let's go ahead and move down. The gate here has been opened to us. Another big reason why I use this as my grinding spot is that this leads us straight back to the Wiswald entrance, letting me heal up real fast. Yeah, there are paintings strewn about that we could see this artist painting periodically throughout the chapter. I somewhat acknowledged them as they were just kind of standing around making the paintings, but since you couldn't talk to them, I never really got the chance to actually interact with them, though I did acknowledge their existence a little bit. It's really cool that you actually can see that artist painting pictures around the town as you progress through the story. It's a really nice detail that if you've played the game before, you notice right off the bat. We do have access to Shieldmaster. We will not be talking about that right now. Though what I will say, we'll be going ahead and putting Shieldmaster on Elvis. And giving him Bard as a sub-job. We're not going to be talking about anything else right now. We're going to be interacting with these paintings. Taking down the painting didn't really do anything. Okay. But there are still two more we need to interact with, so let's go and see them. This was the first one we could see, which was a bird right here that had its head decapitated. Again, all of these all of these paintings are very grim. A fish being impaled, a head with its head cut off. And then we have what looks to be a crescent moon with clouds in front of it. Didn't really do anything, but we have a new marker showing us the yellow diamond is up there at the strangely empty building where there's a new painting for us.
Looks like this is the last painting.
A door? There was a door hidden right here the whole time.
And it looks like it leads to the branches of the great tree.
Well, only one thing for it. In we go.
Next time on Bravely Default 2, we are going to be seeing where this takes us. So, with that said, I'll see you soon.